Good day, class. We will now be discussing about your protein energy malnutrition or your PEM and your natural peptides. So, our objective for this lecture, we need to understand the concept of your protein energy malnutrition, classify them, and also identify and describe the clinical manifestation. Also, what complications could arise in this kind of malnutrition, and also identify the source of function of some common natural peptides. So let's first define malnutrition. So this is a deficiency or excess. So we don't only classify malnutrition as a deficiency but also in excess. So kahit kulang or sobra, this could cause malnutrition in one or more essential nutrients in the diet. So basically, ano yung mga essential nutrients in the diet? You have your macronutrients, and your micro. Okay? So, yung carbohydrates, proteins, okay, that is an example of your macro. Carbs, proteins, okay? That's your macro. And your micro is your vitamins and your minerals. Okay? So, those are your essential nutrients in the diet. And it is characterized by a wide array of health problems, including your weight loss, okay, stunted growth, weakness, and resistance to infection and impairment of intellect. Okay, it can also cause severe cases leading to death. So, ano ba yung weight loss? So, syempre, weight loss, we are losing weight or bumababa ang timbang ng isang tao. Why? Because their nutrients is not enough. Kulang ang nutrients kasi walang nabibuild up si body. Kaya, no, yung nutrients na kailangan natin in building up your muscles, your bones, your fats are not enough. Kaya meron tayong weight loss, bumababa ang timbang. Also, stunted growth, hindi tumatangkad, hindi lumalaki ang isang individual or tao or bata. Okay, bakit? Kasi nga kulang yung mga essential nutrients na kailangan for the growth. Okay? Also, weakness. Mahina ang isang bata, specifically if ever that the patient or the individual doesn't have enough intake of your carbohydrates and your protein. Okay? Kasi nga, yun yung mga building blocks natin for your energy. Also, resistant to infection. Kasi nga, wala namang makakain yung infection. If ever. Or, sometimes they are prone to infection kasi their energy or their capacity to protect themselves are low. And also, impaired intellect. Mahina ang pag-iisip, mahina ang pag-iintindi. Bakit? Because kulang ang vitamins, specifically your vitamin B. Okay, your vitamin B complex because they are the one responsible for your neural transmission. And also, in severe cases, could lead to death. So, sometimes, no, pagka merong kulang na kulang specifically for the carbs, it could lead to coma. Okay, coma and to death. Okay. Then, we have types of undernutrition such as your underweight. So, underweight for one's age is weight for age. So, we are using your WHO guidelines as to this. So, we will not dwell into that. I will let your pediatrics discuss that. So, underweight, no? Underweight for one age. So, hindi tama or hindi angkop ang timbang sa edad. Okay, hindi angkop ang timbang sa edad. So, for example, if you are a 6 months old, 6 months old dapat nasa around 4 to 7 kilos ang isang bata. So, if ever na mas mababa doon, okay, syempre, they are considered underweight. Stunted, a chronic malnutrition manifestation by being too short. So, sabi ko nga, hindi lumatangkad ang isang bata according sa kanilang edad. Okay? So, meron tayong chart for this na you could look up. So, WHO, yan, no? Height for age, weight for age. If you want to check furthermore. And then wasted. An acute malnutrition manifested by being dangerously thin. So this is according naman to weight for height. So anong counterpart nito in adults? Your BMI. Okay, your BMI. But here in bata, you have your Z-score. Okay, so you could check that online. And there are two types of malnutrition. You have your protein energy malnutrition and your micronutrient deficiency. For your protein energy malnutrition, this is characterized by or resulting by deficiency in all nutrients. Okay? While your micronutrient is specific. Okay, specific micronutrient. So kung si protein energy or PEM ay all nutrients, no, mas delikado siya kaysa kay micronutrient. But, okay, some micronutrients are very essential in our daily life and they could also lead to major complications such as your vitamin B, okay, or vitamin C. Okay, they could cause severe complication. For vitamin B, you could have neurological defect if ever that you don't have enough intake. Okay, for vitamin C, you could cause scurvy. Okay, and bleeding, of course, because your vitamin C is essential for your blood clotting. So, yan mga yan. So, protein energy malnutrition, due to foods people eat which are low in protein. So, ano-ano yung mga yon? Of course, those diet na low ang protein, like vegetarian diet. Okay, if ever that the veggies are not high in protein because there are some vegetables that are high in protein. Okay, so yeah, also known as protein energy undernutrition, and they could have no protein at all. The body is not able to synthesize your CHON to produce energy. So your CHON is basically the chemical formula for your protein. Most nutritional disorder of the developing countries. Bakit sa developing country mostly nakikita ito? Kasi, okay, since protein products are high in demand and high in value, okay, you could see them in developing countries, yung mga may hirap na countries. Okay, food gap is chief cause of your protein energy malnutrition, or it is not only deficient of protein but inappropriate food. So if ever, okay, they have low energy density, protein and micronutrients such as your vitamin A, iron, and zinc, or poor both quantity and quality of your life or food. Okay, bakit? Ano nangyayari? Kasi nga, since kulang ang intake, no, there could be or hindi tama yung pagkain. For example, okay, those kids in the Africa, okay, some parts of your Africa, they have big, malaking tiyan, okay, big tummies, they are very thin because, yeah, they eat, but mostly they eat only carbs. Potato, okay, kamote, okay, root crops. So, mostly carbs lang yung intake nila and nagkakaroon sila ng deficiency as to the protein and other micronutrients that essential to their growth. Kaya iba yung itsura, no, ng yes, kumakain siya, madami siyang kinakain, but, okay, kung kulang naman yung essential nutrients, hindi pa rin tama yung magiging growth or manifestation ng isang katawan ng tao. Okay, so we have 10 difference between your kwashiorkor and marasmus. So these are the most common protein energy malnutrition manifestation. So for example, we have your kwashiorkor. As I already stated, merong malaking tiyan, protuberant belly. Okay? They have itchy rashes and they have cirrhosis also. They also have poor wound healing. Okay, we could associate this poor wound healing to the vitamin C deficiency. Cirrhosis, same with vitamin C because they are essential for your collagen production. Itchy rashes. Okay? That's for their vitamin B. Okay? And your protuberant belly is your protein. Okay? So sa kwashiorkor, it develops in children whose diet are deficient in protein. Okay? Kulang ang protina natin. It occurs in children between 6 months to 3 years of age. Also, the subcutaneous fat is preserved. So, meron nataba ang tiyan ng bata kasi nga they are taking in carbs lang. Okay, nabubuo lang sila ng fat. Pero the protein for the muscles, okay, wala silang nabubuo. They could have a presence of edema because, protein is essential in water. Okay, water preservation in the cell. Okay, and large fatty liver because, okay, the manufacturing of your fats and the processing of your carbohydrates are work too much yung liver natin. Okay, ribs are not very prominent. So, hindi ganun ka-prominent since meron nga siyang presence of your subcutaneous fat. And the patient is lethargic, laging pagod. Okay, kasi nga, the energy of their muscles or the composition of their muscles doesn't have enough protein at all. Then, muscle wasting or are mild or even absent kasi nga, their muscles are not quite not developed. Okay, they are not developed properly. Okay, they have also poor appetite, so hindi masyadong palakain, and the person suffering from kwashiorkor needs adequate amount of protein. So protein ang kailangan ni kwashiorkor. Let's go now to your marasmus. Your marasmus, prominent yung bones, payat na payat, okay, decrease in subcutaneous fat, wala siyang taba makikita, and ma-loose yung skin para siyang nakadetach yung balat or hindi masyadong nakadikit. Okay? This is due to deficiency of protein and calories. So both your carbohydrates and protein are deficient in this kind of patient. It is common in infants under 1 year of age. And subcutaneous fat is not preserved. Since bakit? Bakit not preserved ang subcutaneous fat? Kasi wala ka din calories or carbs. Okay? Edema is absent. Bakit edema is absent kahit may protein deficiency? Kasi the water coming from the carbohydrates is not enough also due to decrease also of the intake of your carbohydrates. No fatty liver since wala ka din namang carbohydrates na kasama or wala ka nakukuhang carbs. Okay, ribs becomes more prominent kasi payat nga because wala tayong nakikitang fat. Alert and irritable. Okay, masyadong irritable ang batang ganito. Okay, due to decrease of your carbohydrates. Severe muscle wasting kasi wala din pinagkukuhaan ng protein conversion na carbs. Okay, kasi yung carbs nyo pwede nyo i-convert into protein ng katawan. But, no, they need essential nutrients also for that. Okay, voracious feeder or voracious appetite. Malakas kumain kasi nga wala siyang energy coming from protein or your carbs. And then the person suffering from marasmus needs adequate amount of protein, fats, and carbohydrates. So, mas madami yung kailangan ni marasmus. Kaya M, mas marami. Maraming wala. Pag K, kwashiorkor, konti. Okay? Konti. No. Okay, again, kwashiorkor. This is an African word meaning disease of displaced child. Okay, who is deprived from adequate nutrition. So, mostly, ayan, may kita nating manifestation ng kwashiorkor. Okay, so usually, saan sila nakikita? In African countries. Okay, a form of malnutrition due to a diet deficiency in protein and energy-producing foods. So, na-discuss na natin na kulang ang protina ng batang may kwashiorkor. And hindi lang pala, here in the Philippines, meron din tayo mga patient with kwashiorkor. Usually, they are located in the geographical isolated areas. Okay, yung mga nasa bundok na walang makuhang karne or kamote lang yung diet. Okay? Also called wet, swollen, or edematous form kasi nga matubig ang kanilang katawan due to fat also and decrease in protein. This condition usually appears at age of about 12 months when breastfeeding is discontinued, but it can develop at any time during child formative years. Since bakit sa breastfeeding kasi 'di ba yung breast milk natin still have nutrition and protein, okay, and micronutrient. Kaya after that, no, after the breastfeeding period, tsaka pa lang magmamanifest si kwashiorkor. Okay. The disease that the first child gets when the new child comes. Okay? Bakit? Kasi nga after manganak, okay, after o namang na mga manganganak ulit si mommy, okay, magi-stop na siya ng breastfeeding doon sa unang bata. Kaya, okay, disease that is coming after the first child. Okay? Mostly in children between 1 to 3 years of age when they are completely weaned or taken off the breastfed because of the decrease in the nutrition. So what are the symptoms? So generalized edema because of accumulation of water due to the degradation of your carbohydrates. The breaking down of skin, yung cirrhosis, parang nagbabalat-balat, nangangate. Okay? Preservation of subcutaneous fat and gross enlargement of your liver with fatty infiltration due to your carbohydrates. Loss of appetite, general discomfort, GI infection in some patient, okay, diarrhea, and apathy. So, ayan mga yan. We also have complications. So if treatment comes too late, child may have permanent physical and mental disability due to decrease of your muscle development and your neurological development. Okay? If left untreated, the condition can lead to coma, shock, or death. Okay? Sinabi ko nga kanina, no? Pag kulang yung ibang um, micronutrient or nutrients, okay, it could lead to death. Okay, we go now to your marasmus. Your marasmus, severe lack of protein intake and other nutrients. So, madami. Hindi lang basta protein such as your fats and your carbohydrates. Also called a dry form. Bakit? Mukha siyang tuyot na tuyot kasi nga wala ka makikitang edema. Okay? In developing country, marasmus is most common form of PEM in children. So, ito yung mga usual na nakikita natin sa lansangan. Okay? Kasi nga, puro carbs lang yung kinakain. Nga kanin lang, okay, kamote lang, potato lang. Okay? Mean to waste away or dying away kasi nga sobrang payat. Okay? Kaya yun yung itsura or yun yung manifestation ng isang marasmus. Anong symptoms? Walang edema, maliit ang liver because walang production ng fats due to, okay, decrease also ang carbohydrates na kinakain. Looks old due to, okay, multiple micronutrient deficiency, apathic also. Muscle and fat are wasted and scaling of skin, nagbabalat-balat. They're also pallid. Okay, so yung mga ganito, apathic, no? Parang walang pakialam sa mundo kasi hindi nila alam yung nangyayari due to decrease in neurological development and also pallid, no? Pale, okay, maputla, walang kalaman-laman. Yan. What are the complications of your marasmus? Okay, undertreated marasmus can be serious, may include growth problems in children, joint deformity and destruction. They could also have loss of strength, loss of vision and blindness due to decreased neurological development, and also organ failure or dysfunction kasi nga kulang sa nutrients ang ating bata. So madaming nutrients, not only protein. Unconsciousness and also could lead to coma. So what are the biological changes specific to your protein energy malnutrition? So we have your serum albumin, urea, okay, hydroxyproline, and amino acid ratio. They could also manifest as anemia, okay, and pancreatic secretion. So tingnan natin kung ano-ano yung pagkakaiba nila kay marasmus and kay kwashiorkor. For your serum albumin, kay marasmus, normal or slightly decrease. Bakit? Um, Kasi nga si albumin ay napapreserve due to decrease also intake of your protein. So wala kang protein and wala kang carbohydrates. So lahat lang ng albumin mo ay tinitake up ng body. So ginagamit niya. Unlike for your kwashiorkor na protein lang ang deficiency, so pwede siyang magkaroon ng wasting. Okay, kasi nagkakaroon yan ng muscle wasting dito. Okay, urinary urea per gram of your creatinine. So, normal or decrease kay marasmus kasi nga, okay, multiple deficiency and pagkakulang ka ng madami, usually, kinukuha lang katawan mo, tina-uptake lang ng katawan mo yung normal amount. So, sa kwashiorkor low, urinary hydroproline index, low pareho. 3 amino acid ratio, normal on your marasmus. Okay, elevated kay kwashiorkor. Okay, anemia, pareho. Merong anemia for your marasmus and kwashiorkor. Pagka kay marasmus, due to multiple deficiencies such as iron, okay, carbohydrates, protein. Okay, pag kay kwashiorkor naman, due to decreased iron and folate deficiency. Okay, bakit? So, nagkakaroon sila ng decreased absorption. Pancreatic secretion, reduced enzymatic activity kay marasmus because your organ are dysfunction. Unlike, same goes to your kwashiorkor. Okay, kasi nga dito naman, nagkakaroon ka ng fatty liver. Kaya, yung pancreas mo, okay, is overworked. So, atrophy. So, atrophy means muscle wasting. So, ano nangyayari sa atrophy? Nagkakaroon ng degeneration of your muscle. Okay, aging or protein deficiency. So, nagkakaroon ng pagliit or pag-shrink ng muscle mo. Cells are more likely to shrink because no energy is sustaining them or hindi mo masyadong ginagamit. Walang blood flow na nagaganap sa muscles. The body assume keen bone appearance or like that of the living mummy. So, tuyot na tuyot. Makikita na tuyot na tuyot. Parang walang kalaman-laman yung binte. So, usually, it happens, this happens to your bedridden. Okay, kulang na kulang yung intake ng protein also. Sickle cell disease. This is a type of anemia. This is also known as your drepanocytosis. Okay, because these cells, ayan, ito yung itsura ng sickle cell. And this is the normal RBC and this is your sickle cell. Okay, hindi siya discoid. Okay? Hereditary blood disease caused by deficiency in protein globulin found in your RBC. So, in order for your cell to look like this need some protein in its membrane. So, if ever na deficient yung membrane na yun, no, magkakaroon ng sickling ang tawag natin dyan. Sickling. It is characterized by the production of your abnormal type of hemoglobin, which is your hemoglobin S. Okay? Your sickle cell hemoglobin. But there are also other types of hemoglobin that can cause sickle cell. Hemoglobin S become insoluble when the blood is deprived of oxygen and precipitate forming elongated crystal that distort the blood cell into characteristic of your sickle shape. So, this type of your cell, no, yung mga sickle cell na yan, okay, they cannot uptake oxygen, but no, in increase oxygen, okay, they could go back to normal. But sometimes, okay, hindi sila ganun nangyayari. And delikado ang merong sickle cell because if your blood vessel looks like this, kaya bilog lang yung dumadaan para silang train. Pero kung pahaba ang sickle cell, pwede silang magpatong-patong and they could lead to blockage or clotting. So, we have also your other source or other nutritions that you need are hormones, okay, chemical messengers in your body. So you have your TRH, your glutathione. So this most living cells stimulate tissue growth. This is also an antioxidant. So it removes um, it removes waste product, and this is essential for your immune system to proper functioning. It is vital in your tissue repair kasi nga antioxidant nga. Okay? Then you have your TRH, your thyroid releasing hormone. Thyroid releasing hormone. So hypothalamic neurohormone that governs your thyrotropin. Okay? So CTRH, okay, is important in the regulation of your energy homeostasis, okay, feeding behavior, thermogenesis, and autonomic regulation. This also, okay, controls the thyroid thyroid hormones. Okay? Kaya those who are having thyroid problems, nagkakaroon sila ng decreased metabolism or increased metabolism. Angiotensin 2, this is a precursor of agent that acts on your renal gland. So ano meron kay angiotensin? Okay, this affects your muscle wall or your small arteries to constrict. And pag nag-constrict yun, lumiit yung mga blood vessel mo, magkakaroon ka ng increased blood pressure. That's why your angiotensin 2 plays a major role in your blood pressure regulation. And this could also affect your release of your ADH and vasopressin, your antidiuretic hormone, okay, or vasopressin. Then you have your bradykinins. Okay, your bradykinins are your hypotensive vasodilator on the smooth muscle. So, kabaliktaran naman siya ni angiotensin. Okay? Angiotensin. And this can also affect your ADH. Papataas ang ADH. Okay, oxytocin, this is uterus contracting hormone, and this also stimulates the lactation. So, this is known as your letdown hormone. Bakit letdown? Kasi it helps, okay, the pushing of the baby during birth, and also it helps your breast milk to be produced. Then somatostatin, this inhibits your growth hormone release used to treat ulcers. Okay? So somatostatin, okay, nagdi-decrease siya ng growth hormones, okay, during your adult years. Then endothelin, this is a potent vasoconstriction similar to some snake venom. Okay, anong ginagawa niya? Pinapaliit niya yung blood vessels. Okay, that could also increase your blood pressure. You have also your glucagon. This is glucagon, not glucagon. This is hyperglycemic factor used as an anti-diabetic. Okay? So, anong meron kay glucagon? Dinidecrease niya yung uptake ng sugar. Unlike your insulin, okay, this is a pancreatic hormone that treats your diabetes. Ano naman ginagawa ni insulin? Ini-increase niya yung paggamit ng sugar. Magkabaliktaran sila ni glucagon. Then you have your melittin, okay, honeybee venom used to treat your rheumatism. Okay. Then we also have your different hormones. So what are their organ origin, saan nanggaling, tapos kung ano yung napoproduce. So on your pituitary gland or your anterior hypophysis, your pituitary gland is also known your anterior hypophysis. Okay. What are the hormone produced? Mostly, the hormone produced in this are stimulants or stimulating hormone. So, tandaan nyo, pag nakita kayo ng mga stimulating, okay, they are produced in your pituitary gland. Okay? Stimulating hormones. Okay? Saan sila located? Lodged in the cella tunica of your sphenoid of your pituitary gland. Okay? Then sa posterior hypophysis, so your pituitary or your posterior naman, your neurohypophysis, okay, ay your adenohypophysis, anong napoproduce dito? Only two. You have your vasopressin and your ADH. your EDH or your antidiuretic hormone, also known as your vasopressin, and your oxytocin. Okay? So you have their target tissue. Ano yung mga target tissue nila? These tissues also produces hormone. Okay, also produces hormone. So yung pituitary, they stimulate those organ producing hormone to produce also hormones. Okay? So kaya dito sa mga stimulating hormones, as you can see in their function, secretion of your another hormone, stimulation of growth, development. Okay, so yung mga yan. Then you have also associated diseases if they are hypofunctioning or decrease in production and pagka-increase yung production. Okay, so for your hypofunction, may result on Simon's disease, dwarfism, polyuria, depressed sexual function, and your scanty growth hair. So your Simon's disease, this is for your ACTH. Okay, for your dwarfism, for your growth hormone, for your polyuria. Okay, that's for your ACTH. Okay, depressed sexual dysfunction, that's for your LH and FSH. And your scanty growth hair, that's for your thyroid. And your melanocyte. Then your hyperfunction naman, okay, gigantism, of course, that's for your growth hormone. Okay, acromegaly, pagka adult life. So if ever that the bata pa at merong abnormality in growth, so masyadong malaki yung bata, that's gigantism. Pero pagka adult na tapos mukha siyang malaki, that's acromegaly. And anong pinagkaiba nila? Your gigantism, uniform yung growth. So lahat is pantay. Pagka acromegaly, mas malaki yung mga daliri, okay? Malaki yung muka, ibang yung itsura niya, hindi pantay yung paglaki. Okay? Pagka naman sa posterior part, pag hypofunction, okay, possible na mag-cause ng diabetes insipidus due to your ADH. Next is thyroid gland. Ano yung napoproduce niyang hormone? So, ito na yung mga target organ kanina nakikita natin. For thyroid gland, they could produce calcitonin, your thyroid hormones, such as your thyroxine and your PE4. Okay? And then your triiodine thyroxine. Okay? So, this is found in front of your trachea beside the cartilage. And saan ang effect nito? Saan ang effect ng ating thyroid hormones? This could affect your bones and throughout the body because of its metabolism component. Okay, so for calcitonin, this for the regulation of your calcium. Okay, pagka naman thyroid hormone, of course, metabolic rate and also the production of your enzymes. Pagka decrease, okay, may can result to your cretinism in early life. So that's for your calcitonin. And myxedema for your thyroid hormones. Okay. Then for your hyperfunctioning, you have your Graves' disease, sobra-sobra. And exophthalmic goiter, yung parang nakaluwa yung mata. Okay, that's your exophthalmia. Then parathyroid hormone, this is the one also regulating calcium levels in your blood. So, kung saan kailangan yung calcium, doon yung effect niya. Okay. Then for your thymus, your thymosin. So, usually in adult, mas maliit na yung thymus. Okay? Pag bata, meron pang thymus, malaki pa yung thymus. Pero pag matanda na, lumiliit siya. And also, production of your WBC or maturation of your specifically T cells. Okay? Then, an adrenal gland, you have your aldosterone and hydrocortisone. Anong effect nito? Okay? Sa kidneys. So, usually regulate the potassium level and blood control of your blood pressure. Then, pagka yung hydrocortisone naman, okay, blood glucose level and also the fat stores of your body. Adrenal gland, you have your epinephrine and your norepi. Okay, muscle and blood vessels are affected on your both epi and norepi. And this also regulates your blood pressure per se. Okay, due to constriction and vasodilation of your blood vessels. Okay, so yung mga yan. And also, we have your pancreas, we have your glucagon and insulin. So, your glucagon is also known as alpha cells and your insulin is produced by your beta cells. So, ito yung nagpo-produce na cells sa pancreas. Okay, so anong effect ni glucagon sa liver? Because it increased your sugar levels. Hindi niya ginagamit. Unlike for your insulin throughout the body because they affect the cells to increase the uptake of your sugar. Then for ovaries, you have your estrogen and progesterone. So, female reproductive system and your mammary gland. That's why ito yung mga iniinom ng ating mga trans. Kasi nga, they would develop the breast. Okay? This is also responsible for the maturation of your female sex organ. Then, for testes, they produce testosterone naman. So, ito naman yung iniinom ng mga trans men natin. Kasi nga, this could give maturation or development of male features. Then, your kidney, this produces erythropoietin, wherein this is responsible for increased production of your red blood cells. Then, gastrin, hormone for your internal secretion of the stomach. So, this releases some hormones, or this stimulates your body to produce gastric acid. Then secretin also stimulates your pancreas and bowel to produce digestive enzymes, wherein these digestive enzymes would help in the breakdown of your food. And that's all for your protein energy malnutrition. Thank you so much.